third day, third letter. Okay, we've only got 3 rows worth here.
Okay.
So, starts with, and probably in terms of alphabetisation we need to clarify, although it's alright because Das is the, so that's okay. Das Kabinett des Dr. Caligari. Silent classic. German expressionist. 1920. 100 years old this year. This is a phenomenal horror film about a hypnotist who goes around a fair presenting his sleepwalking ward. I don't know what he is, just a guy that's basically in a coffin who can predict the future. But at night, that sleepwalking guy that can predict the future goes out and commits crimes on behalf of Dr. Caligari.
Is that also an English film?
No.
I've heard of Dr. Caligari.
Don't
Just
think
from
so.
that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very good. And it's due to be shown at the cinema when we're back open. I was going to do it in April, but you know what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, Call Me By Your Name.
Oh.
A film that feels as hot as the summer days that it's set on.
Beautiful.
Filmed wonderfully. Candyman.
Halloween classic.
Halloween classic. Special edition in lovely Arrow packaging.
Our first date.
It was our first date, yeah. We need to watch this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candyman's great. One of those classic
And it's getting remade.
early 90s horror films. Yeah, it's being remade with I can't remember who's in it, but yeah, it's being remade.
You can't improve on it though, can you?
No. It's wonderful. Scorsese's Cape Fear.
Great.
Fantastic. I need to get the original as well, because the original's great too. But a very good De Niro. 2 copies of Carrie, American, and the Arrow Special Edition, because Carrie's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
What can we say about Carrie?
It's Carrie.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Casablanca,
Oh.
another classic.
Yeah.
Case of the Scorpion's Tail,
Never heard of it.
that I only watched last week. The Dog's Back. Another Giallo. This one is there's loads of subgenres of Giallo. Like there's horror Giallos and gothic Giallos, and like there's a whole genre of them that they're all based on the Agatha Christie and Then There Were None. Like it's exactly the same story. But this one is from the globe-trotting Giallo category. And it's from obviously the 70s, and it's that point where people started to be able to go on like holidays to exotic climes, and it's almost like it could have Judith Chalmers in it. It's got lots of, it's like Rome, Paris, London. Then Cave of Forgotten Dreams. So this is Werner Herzog's documentary about cave paintings in France,
Oh.
in the Chauvet Cave.
Is this what you were always banging on about?
Yeah.
Going to see.
So it's one of the only a couple of things that I've enjoyed watching in 3D at the cinema.
Take you into the caves.
Yeah, so Werner Herzog got permission to go into the caves and film. You're not normally allowed to film. And the good thing about it is that you get a proper feeling of the shapes of the walls that the things are painted on. So rather than just seeing a picture of a bison or something, it shows that the bison's been painted on a bit of rock that's the shape of a bison's chest, so that's why they chose that bit to paint the bison on. And it kind of sticks out because it's 3D.
Bit of a weird one for him to do though, isn't it?
He does lots of weird documentaries. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Fantastic. We've got the next of the Dario Argento animal-themed giallos, which is the Cat o' Nine Tails. In a lovely, lovely box. Then another recent discovery, and the thing that I think we both loved, The Changeling. in a lovely limited
Oh.
edition box as well. The
Yes.
what's his name? George C. Scott.
Very like House on Haunted Hill.
He's a very skeptical person being haunted. Next up, we have the very relevant for now Children of Men, with its brilliant vision of. Well, it's only 2027, so it's not far off.
Well, yeah.
Grim, beautifully shot, amazing action sequences. Love it. We've got Chinatown. Amazing Jack Nicholson performance.
Yeah.
Amazing Faye Dunaway performance. It's great.
Problematic director.
Problematic director.
Can't really endorse it now.
We can endorse the film. Can't endorse Roman Polanski.
Mm.
Then we've got Out of Order, because it should have been in the A's as A Christmas Tale was. We've got A Christmas Story.
Put it in the A's.
Okay, A Christmas Story is now
Closure.
moving back to the top. So if you don't know what A Christmas Story is, it's directed
It's
by Bob Clark,
brilliant.
who also directed Black Christmas. So he made two of the best Christmas films, one a horror, one a nostalgic look at 1940s America.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
And we only saw it for the first time.
Yeah, it's
2 years
Yeah,
ago?
a couple of years ago. It's great. There's a big hefty Citizen Kane box set. 75th anniversary Citizen Kane box set with nice books and stuff in it.
Bit overrated.
No. I don't love it, but it's one of the classics, and it's rightly so a classic
Why?
because it doesn't feel like it was made 70 years ago. It feels like it could have been made yesterday. It's very modern. City of God. Next. Seen City of God?
No.
It's like teenage gangs in Rio. Yeah, Rio de Janeiro. It's amazing. Brutal, but it's amazing. We should do that sometime.
Okay.
I haven't seen that since it came out, and it came out 2011. Scary.
Is it like Lay?
Kind of, yeah. But it's also quite Goodfellas-y, but it's set in Rio de Janeiro, so it's like glorious golden sunlight and like mahogany bodies.
Good sell. That was a
Yeah.
good.
Clerks, 10th anniversary DVD of Clerks.
You say Clerks.
That's because they call it Clerks.
Oh yeah.
I've got a weird thing about. I kind of like Clerks, but I kind of don't like it. I think it's my least favourite of that first bunch of Kevin Smith films.
Why would you buy the 10th anniversary edition box set? 3-disc special edition.
Because at the point where I was collecting DVDs, I bought pretty much everything that came out every week. I watched it again recently because it's 20 years old. Don't tell me it's 30 years old. It's 30 years old. Or is it 25 years old? It's 25 years old, I think. I watched it again recently, and it's alright.
That kind of stoner comedy thing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's another one of those ones that's kind of important for what it was, because it was a very low budget thing made by just a group of friends that pulled something together, and it turned into a bigger thing because they then went on to make all those things like Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Dogma and all the stuff off the back of it. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, one of my favourite films. The first Blu-ray that I bought, and I didn't have a Blu-ray player at that point, so it's the same as having Fight Club without a DVD player. I bought it because I went into CEX to buy something on DVD, and there was the Close Encounters box set on Blu-ray, and it's Close Encounters, so I had to have it because it had nice things with it. It's one of my favourite Spielbergs. I love it. And sitting next to that lovely Blu-ray box set is the 4K upgrade bit, so we've got the best version that you can get. Next comes Cocoon.
That's an unlikely film for you.
It's a film that, again, it's a bit like Black Hawk Down. It has a very special place in my heart for some reason. Cocoon's one of those films that if it came on the telly, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I want to watch it now.
It's great. It's cheesy, but it's actually quite good. great science fiction film.
Was it based on a book or something?
I don't know. Steve Guttenberg. Amazing Wilfred Brimley and Donna Mesh. Hume Cronin, who wrote the screenplay for what? Rope, I believe.
Oh.
With Hitchcock. Next up, Collateral.
That seems middle of the road.
It's because it's Michael
Thriller.
Mann. I like the aesthetic of it. It's not an amazing film, but I like the aesthetic of it. It's Michael Mann's like sleek nighttime LA thing. A film that's just been added to the collection that we watched last week, Colour Out of Space.
Instant classic.
Nicolas Cage in a H.P. Lovecraft science fiction fantasy with alpacas.
Mad.
Great. The Colour Purple.
A very different film.
Yeah, very different.
You haven't seen it?
I have. I
Have
watched
you?
it, yeah. I hadn't seen it until very recently, but I have watched it now. Not one of my favourite Spielbergs.
It's good though.
It's a good film, but
And
it's
it's
not
a-
Spielberg for me. I like Spielberg adventure, and I like Spielberg historical. There's that bit in the kind of that period I'm not that fussed on. But it's a good film. It just doesn't feel like Spielberg to me.
Because women are leading it.
No. The Colour of Pomegranates next, that we played the last weekend before we shut the cinema. So this is it's a biopic, ostensibly a biopic of a.
Are you saying biopic or are you saying biopic?
Well, it's a biopic because it's a life pick. Biopic is a creature with two eyes. This is a biopic of an Armenian poet from the Middle Ages.
I'm still thinking about biopic.
That's told through a series of brightly coloured, very surreal vignettes, and it's beautiful and bonkers.
Looks art house to the max.
It's about as art house as you can get. Next to it is something that's not very art house, which is The Company of Wolves.
Ooh.
So that's it's another folk horror-y kind of thing. It's Neil Jordan's film of fairy tales. So it's got Little Red Riding Hood in it. It's got lots of werewolves in it. It's very werewolf erotic.
It's a small genre.
I guess so. Although some people would say all werewolves are just films about sex. The beast within every man. Next up, one of my favourites of the 1970s that should be seen and known far more widely is Coppola's The Conversation.
Yes.
With Gene Hackman, and we talked about that when we were doing
We did.
yesterday's one for Blow Out and Blow Up. So The Conversation's amazing. It's one of the when I saw this for the first time, I thought, in my naivety, that I had seen all the great films of the 70s because I'd seen all the Godfathers and all the kind of ones that always make the lists. And I saw this and it blew my mind.
You haven't even seen Clute though, have you?
I haven't seen Clute.
Oh.
It's another one. The 70s is full of things that I need to see. After The Conversation, we have Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak in a wonderful Arrow special edition.
That is a nice presentation.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Presentation box.
In a lovely box. It's not one of my favourite Guillermo del Toro's, but it's.
You know, if it doesn't spark joy, you have to.
Oh no,
throw
it
away.
sparks joy as an item, and it's a good film. It's not Pan's Labyrinth or Kronos or Devil's Backbone. It's second tier Guillermo del Toro. And then next we have the film that probably should have been my answer to your question of what's an introduction to Wuxia Kung Fu. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That had a moment, didn't it?
The
in
one
90s.
the one that kind of made the West go, oh, amazing, this is fantastic, this thing where people fly on ropes and can do incredible kicks. I went to see this at Chapter when it came out, and I loved it. And I've seen it probably half a dozen times since, and it still holds up for me. I think a big part of it is that I don't believe it's got any CGI in it. It's all done practically. When they're like flying across roofs, and there might be one CGI shot where they come through some bamboo and it was impossible to keep the ropes in, so they float through the bamboo.
Will give us enough time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll recreate it. With the dogs. The cat.
Then Cujo. Another lovely special edition.
I read the book. I didn't fancy the
I don't think I've ever read the book.
book's good.
But it's a great story, and it's kind of like Rio Bravo and Assault on Precinct 13, although the people are stuck in a car and it's a dog, not bad guys.
It's hard to not feel sorry for the dog, though.
Well, yeah, he gets bitten by a bat and he gets rabies. It's not his fault, is it? He's not a bad guy.
No.
He's just in the wrong...
He's a persistent guy.
He's very persistent, yeah. And it's got Dee Wallace in it out of E.T., which is always good in the 80s. And then C ends on probably a strange point, but it's only in the collection really because I love David Fincher, and that's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
I've never seen it.
Which I think it's worth a watch. I love David Fincher's film, and I like his commentaries, and this has got an amazing, because it's a pretty technically amazing film, or it was at the time, and the commentary was fantastic, explaining how it was all done, and but it's not great Fincher. There's a theory that Fincher's films go superb, okay, superb, okay, superb, okay, all the way through the career, and that was one of the okays.
Won 3 Academy Awards, though.
Yeah, but then so did Green Book. They don't mean anything anymore. Did they ever? But yeah, it's interesting. It's got some really great moments in it, and it's kind of it's a journey. Watching Brad Pitt shrink, become a little old baby man.
I think that's why it didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it's strange, but then it's based on a short story, and
By F. Scott Fitzgerald.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
and it is a short story as well. I don't think it's not like a novella. It's quite short. And yeah, they've made a 2-hour 46-minute film out of it.
Yeah, but look at what they've made out of Stephen King's short stories.
Fair enough. Better films than the short stories were in most cases.
Name one.
Stand By Me.
Was that a short story?
Yeah. Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah. That's good.
Running Man's a short story, isn't it? Oh no, it might be. No, it's not.
I don't know. I think whatever we're going to say now, you're going to have to fact check it later.
I know. Okay, so that's the C's. There aren't that many of those.
No.
It's a few more D's for tomorrow. I was looking at this. E and F are going to be merged together because there's only like 4 E's in there.
Mm-hmm.
F is going to be joined together. G and H is probably going to be joined together. So, and I and J will have to be.
Don't give me spoilers.
I know. Yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
So there's the C's. That's okay, Nick. You going to ask me the other question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you prepared.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you today because you prepared. I'm going to ask you a different question.
No, because I need to pick 3 to go on the list.
Well, I don't. Why is there even?
There's now a Desert Island list.
Yeah, but
I'm picking them. So I'm going to go for... I'm going to have Close Encounters. Because I love it so. I'm going to have The Conversation. I'm going to have... Are you on the desert island with me?
depends. Depends how this lockdown goes.
Candyman. if you're there, we'll take Candyman.
Great.
If you're not, I'm taking Cave of Forgotten Dreams and some 3D glasses so I can go in a French cave and look at cave paintings every now and again.
Well, hopefully there'll be an agricultural equipment museum for you you could start with.
That sounds good. What was the other question? What was the other question?
I was going to ask you which 3 you would throw away.
Which do you throw away out of the seas?
Which 3 you'd throw out of a window to hit a bird that was on an aerial.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
The Colour Purple. Because I'm not sure that I'd ever watch The Colour Purple again. It probably should be in the second tier box now. Just because it's Spielberg is sitting there.
Why don't we just give it to the charity shop?
Because I want to keep it, because I will watch it again at some point. And I would remove Clerks.
Because they don't spark joy.
No, they do. But you're asking me a question of like one of those, like, you have to get rid of X, you have to kill one member of your family. One of those questions. It's not going to happen. I'm not getting rid of them.
Good to know.
You know?
Alright, see you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.